All right, so for today's video, we're going to put 3D kit bashing and physical kit bashing head to head and see which one works out better. So for today's kit bash, the physical at least, we're going to be using, we're going to be making flagellants for my witch hunter's army. And so because of that, I had to buy a new kit. I bought a single sprue on eBay. And this is how I recommend buying sprues for like Frostgrave or whatever. This is from Fireforge Games, the Folk Rabble kit. And they're just basic commoners. So we're gonna have to do some distressing on the clothes and stuff. And then we're gonna be kit bashing it with, on the Barbarian Frostgrave kit, because they have a little more crazed-like looks on their face. So, and they have more weapon options. All right, so I just finished the physical kit bash, and it took about 15 minutes per model. That's editing, that's taking out, like setting up cameras and stuff. Now I'm gonna start the 3D kit bashing, and then I'm using Tinkercad. You can only upload small files, so I'm starting with relatively simple looking files from Thingiverse. Links for those files are in the description. That way I can cut it up a little more easy. I'm using SculptFab, it's the in-browser 3D sculptor. I'm using Chitubox as well to assemble. If you really want a more in-depth look, feel free to comment down below. Alright, so I'm going to start with a Zenithal Prime. This is actually my first time ever doing this. Typically I just dry brush it with white. And to be honest, I think that turns out better. The Zenithal does a good job of making a good transition from like kind of a light gray to a black. It's kind of soft transition, which adds some like good shading, but it doesn't really add a lot of contrast. I kind of do like the dry brush better because the white is actually white. I started with dry brushing the skin and only the skin with another white and painting with Army Speedpaints. I exclusively have been using Army Speedpaints for a while, and they are really fantastic. It's amazing what you can get just with one color, but this time around I'm mixing colors. Zealot Yellow and Pallid Bone to kind of give a undyed fabric look for all the basic colors. I used Orc Skin and Pallid Bone again, and painted like some of the dyed clothes just to make it a little more interesting. Green is a pretty common color, so I did that to kind of just make this whole unit look unified a bit. And then I used some hardened leather, and I use that for straps and hair, and then Crusader skin for the skin. I actually was pretty disappointed that the scoring on the Fireforge kit just did, I don't know if the paint just didn't go into the recesses or it just did not bring out that much texture. So I went in again and just kind of like dingied it up a bit more. And then I'm gonna highlight those again. But it just didn't really bring out that much texture. I think the 3D file looks a lot better. I'm able to scale it to match the rest of my army. The Fireforge and Frostgrave kits are a bit small for the Artisan Guild models. That's a benefit of having a 3D file. You can just scale it up a bit. It's kind of the boring answer where I don't think there's like a good, I think they're both really good processes. That's probably why people do it so often. It just depends on your skill set. Like, are you gonna spend time sculpting things or like with green stuff or with like 3D web browser? Disappointing look. But I think it's good to highlight both methods separately. The other thing is, it's easy for anyone to use. Most of these programs are just in your browser. So if you have access to the internet, you should be able to do this. Let me know which one you think won out at the end. And I'll see you in the next video.